Recently, Israel's Arrow missile defense system has intercepted ballistic missiles launched from Yemen multiple times. First, on October 31st, the older version, Arrow 2 missile, successfully intercepted a missile. Then, on November 10th, the Israeli Ministry of Defense announced that the Arrow 3 system successfully intercepted a missile heading towards Israel. This marked the system's first combat interception, making it the world's first interception of a ballistic missile in outer space during actual combat. In the previous conflict in Ukraine, the United States provided Patriot missiles to Ukraine, which have a relatively short range of about 100 kilometers and typically conduct terminal interceptions within the Earth's atmosphere. Even high-speed Russian hypersonic missiles, like the Kinzhal, claiming speeds of over Mach 10, can be intercepted by the U.S. Patriot system. Although this historic feat of human combat interception occurred in Israel, it's important to note that Israel's missile defense technology stems from the United States. The U.S. leads globally in mid-course missile defense, and today, we'll take a look at how Israel's Arrow 3 missile defense system operates. The term outer space interception sounds impressive, so what does it mean, and why intercept missiles in outer space? Outer space interception targets ballistic missiles, which follow a parabolic trajectory. After being launched from the ground, they ascend higher and higher, reaching beyond the Earth's atmosphere. At this point, air resistance is minimal, allowing ballistic missiles to achieve greater range and higher speeds. For example, intercontinental missiles, like those with 3 booster stages, ignite their final stage in outer space to continue acceleration, significantly reducing resistance and increasing range, often exceeding 10,000 kilometers. As the defending party, intercepting enemy missiles in the terminal phase poses 2 challenges. First, if you intercept in the terminal phase, when the missile re-enters the atmosphere, the speed is extremely high, making interception more difficult. Second, if the interception fails, there's very little margin for error. If the enemy missile carries a nuclear warhead, even if intercepted in the terminal phase, an explosion over your airspace could still result in significant nuclear contamination. So, what's the solution? The U.S. came up with 2 approaches. The first is boost phase interception, intercepting the missile during its ascent along the parabolic trajectory. This plan is imaginative but technologically challenging and has yet to be realized. The currently achieved approach is the mid-course interception system, mainly composed of the U.S. Navy's Standard Missile-3 and the U.S. Army's ground-based mid-course defense system. There's a challenge with mid-course interception: ballistic missiles have very long ranges. For instance, if Yemen launches missiles at Israel, the range can be 1,700 to 2,000 kilometers. To intercept in mid-course, you need a range of at least 500 to 1,000 kilometers. This is why mid-course interception systems have very long ranges and come with high costs. The U.S. Standard Missile-3 has a range of 2,000 kilometers, with each missile costing over $10 million. As early as 2015, the U.S. conducted numerous test launches of the Standard Missile-3 Block IA. Over the years, the U.S. has consistently succeeded in using the Standard Missile-3 to intercept target missiles. Israel's expertise in outer space missile defense is actually derived from the U.S. The Arrow 3 missile is a joint development of the United States and Israel, with the United States providing funding. If you're familiar with various military weapons, you'll notice that many of Israel's recent weapons and equipment have been researched with U.S. funding and technology support. For example, the well-known Iron Dome, the U.S. allocated $1 billion to support the development of Iron Dome. The U.S. itself only symbolically purchased 2 Iron Dome systems. For the U.S., there wasn't an urgent need for Iron Dome systems. Now, back to the Arrow 3 system. The developer of the Arrow 3 system is Israel Aerospace Industries, in collaboration with the U.S. Boeing Company. Why involve Boeing? The U.S. has 2 mid-course missile defense systems, the Navy's Standard Missile-3 by the renowned Raytheon Company and the ground-based mid-course defense system by Boeing. Boeing is the main contractor, with participation from Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman in the project's development process. Supervision is carried out by the Israeli Ministry of Defense Administration for the development of weapons and technological infrastructure, along with the U.S. Missile Defense Agency. The majority of the project's funding comes from the U.S. From 1989 to 2007, the Arrow program invested a total of $2.4 billion, with 50% to 80% of it subsidized by the U.S. Israel's annual contribution is approximately $65 million. Truly, there's no other country in the world with the treatment Israel receives. Developing a weapon with U.S. funding, assistance, and technology is a unique privilege. Back in 1986, Israel and the United States signed a memorandum to begin developing a ballistic missile interception system. The first system developed was the Arrow 1 missile system. Arrow 1 had its first launch in 1990, featuring a two-stage solid rocket booster, utilizing inertial guidance, command updates, and infrared guidance for terminal homing. However, with a relatively short range of around 50 kilometers and various technical shortcomings, Arrow 1 did not enter active service. Subsequently, the U.S. and Israel jointly developed Arrow 2, which began testing in 1995 and was delivered to Israel in 1998. From 1998 to the present, Israel has continuously upgraded the missile system, including versions Block 2, 3, 4, and 5, with the latest Block 5 upgrade in 2011. The interception of missiles from Yemen was likely carried out by Israel's active Block 4 system. The performance of missile systems from different Western countries varies significantly. For instance, the early Jericho missiles had a shorter range, about 100 or 200 kilometers. However, by the time of Block 4's testing in 2009, the range had already reached 1,000 kilometers, demonstrating terminal interception capabilities. This isn't the first time Arrow 2 has been used. In 2017, the operational Arrow 2 intercepted a Syrian S-200 surface-to-air missile. The original target was Israeli aircraft, but due to a malfunction, the missile's trajectory posed a threat to Israeli urban areas. Therefore, Israel decided to use Arrow 2 for interception. On October 31st, the interception of missiles from Yemen was likely conducted using Arrow 2. These missiles, such as the Qatar, are upgraded versions of the Iranian Qayyam 1. The development of the Arrow 2 defense system by Israel was specifically aimed at countering threats from Iran, Syria, and Yemen. On November 9th, the interception was performed using Israel's latest Arrow 3 missile system. Development began in 2008, and it was declared operational in 2017. Compared to the operational Arrow 2, Arrow 3 boasts higher speed, longer range, and higher altitude. While specific technical parameters are not publicly disclosed, the president of Israel Aerospace Industries stated that Arrow 3 can serve as an anti-satellite weapon, making its basic performance comparable to the U.S. standard Missile 3. The range is expected to be between 1,000 and 1,500 kilometers, enabling interception of ballistic missiles in outer space as well as the ability to shoot down satellites. Known as the father of Israel's anti-ballistic missile system, Rafef stated that Arrow 3 has a 90% interception success rate. If the first missile launch fails, a second interception missile can be launched shortly thereafter. If the first missile successfully destroys the target, the second missile can be guided to another target simultaneously. According to their calculations, using 2 to 3 interception missiles would achieve an astonishing 99.9% success rate. Therefore, theoretically, ballistic missiles launched from Yemen would be completely unable to threaten Israel. Each Arrow missile launch battery is typically equipped with 4 to 8 launchers and requires about 100 personnel. It is equipped with the Green Pine Long-Range Active Electronically Scanned Array radar. The radar operates in the L-band and can simultaneously perform search, detection, tracking, and guidance functions. According to publicly available data, its detection range reaches 500 kilometers, while the upgraded version, the Super Green Pine radar, extends the detection range to 900 kilometers. It's worth noting that the data disclosed for Green Pine radar may be conservative. With the interception ranges of Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 missiles reaching 1,000 kilometers, it would be unlikely for the radar detection range to be shorter than the missile's range. In many cases, Western countries tend to disclose data that is much lower than the actual performance when revealing public information. Israel's Arrow missile defense system, developed in collaboration with the U.S., has received full assurance of its performance, making it popular in the international market. For example, in 2023, Germany decided to purchase the Arrow 3 system from Israel, with delivery expected in 2025. India had previously purchased the Green Pine radar for 3 Arrow systems from Israel. However, Israel's attempt to sell complete Arrow 2 defense systems to India in 2002 was rejected by the U.S. as the system was developed in cooperation with the U.S. Recently, neighboring Jordan sought to purchase the Arrow defense system from Israel, and Israel approved the sale, but the U.S. has not yet granted approval. The successful interception of medium-range ballistic missiles from Yemen using Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 proves that the U.S.-Israeli mid-range interception technology is highly reliable. In both the Ukraine conflict and the recent conflicts in Israel, U.S. missile defense technology has demonstrated its superiority. In the Ukrainian conflict, the U.S. provided Patriot air defense missiles to Ukraine, originally designed for intercepting fighter jets and cruise missiles. However, in May of this year, Russia launched multiple hypersonic Kinzhal missiles towards Kyiv, and they were successfully intercepted by the U.S. Patriot missiles. Now, in Israel, using Arrow 2 and Arrow 3, both incorporating U.S. technology, successfully intercepted medium-range ballistic missiles launched by Houthi rebels. Therefore, it is evident that neither Iran's medium-range ballistic missiles nor Russia's hypersonic weapons, such as the Kinzhal, can challenge the U.S. missile defense systems.